That, be sure to hit that like button. Sharing is caring. Caring is sharing. Also, with that being said, subscribe to the nation if you can. And as this room fill up, be sure to know you're listening to nothing but the best. Come on with it. Mama said that there'll be days literally just like this. Come on. I don't know why my title didn't update. Got the same title from yesterday, but that's okay. Context matter. Cowboys entering into week 1, clash with the Eagles. Q&A plus more and more, baby. Yeah. 3 things that the Cowboys must do in order to change the landscape. That's the title, what it's going to be really talking about today. Don't have a long time with you guys. Put a 1 in the chat if the audio is straight. 5, 4, 3, 2, and I'm telling you, shout out to you, Jay Worthy. Shout out to you, Lopez. Yolanda. All Love Show VIP.
Dread it. Run from it. Destiny arrives all the same.
And now
it's
it's here, baby.
Should I say?
I am. All right, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. All right, so I got 3 things that the Cowboys must do versus the Eagles. First and foremost, Ray J had 1 wish. I had 2 wishes this offseason. And the 2 wishes that I had was, and still is, can we stop the run? And can we run the ball? Those are the 2 things that we need to do, especially this Thursday. The third thing is, because it correlates with running the ball, is taking over time of possession. You don't want to get into a shootout, but it seems as if, though, that could be the thing that the Cowboys are leaning to or heading to, would be a shootout versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, granted, Cowboy Nation, there are some developing news as relates to a few things, but we're going to touch on those topics a little bit later. Appreciate you, Joey. Shout out to you, Fabian. This is what we up against from last season, ladies and gentlemen. And that being said, it is the situation that the Cowboys may be up against the overall number 2 team in the National Football League as far as metrics. They had the number 1 defense last season, 7th in the offense. Special team, they were 17th, so that was their weak spot. And what you want to do is make teams play left-handed, right? And the Cowboys got to, and they must make the opposition play left-handed, right? And that's just for what it is. That's just for what it is. Shout out to your son, Savage, Starboy Entertainment, Blue 23. I think that if we can run that ball behind Blue 23, he'd be wearing 23. I've seen practice that he had no restraints or constraints on his leg, so that's good news for us, Cowboy Nation. Heading into this game, there are some reservations. One being that the Cowboys, and I know that most of you guys don't want to talk about Michael Parsons, and I get that. But contacts matter. You got to talk about these type of things, and I get it. Because the next contract that's going to be around the corner is the guy that wears 3 on his chest, and his name is George Pickens. He will be the next guy that's going to go through the contract things, and we got to talk about this. Unfortunately, it falls right in line, is how can we get pressure? Now, I do know that there's a notion that we can do pressure with less equals more. Now, normally, it takes 3 to maybe 4 games before you can get a real vibe of what a team looks like, what a team is. The thing is, with the Cowboys, we are playing 2 divisional foes. In these first 2 games, these are pivotal games. Let me say this again. These first two games are very pivotal, meaning that these are divisional games. You can't win week 1 and then turn around and lose week 2. You don't want to win that way because now it's kind of getting you back into that settling spot of being right at 500. You want to win week 1. Ultimately, and how the NFL schedule makers made it, you got to ultimately win week 2. Now, what the Cowboys are up against is the very much so the unknown. Granted, these are the things that we have to also say to these particular factors. The Cowboys heading into this situation, they going up against two teams that's pretty much good on defense. Pretty much good on defense. And where the weak spots at for the Eagles is primarily on the outer side, meaning that their cornerbacks, you can burn Odor. Quinyon Mitchell, he's going into his second season. Cooper DeJean, if it's him out in space by himself, then I trust Cavante Turpin, right? Even though both of those guys are pretty fast. So, and Alfredo says no team is unbeatable. Yeah, but you got to figure out. You remember that movie came out many a moons ago, Independence Day, and they was trying to figure out where the weak spots at for the aliens, right? And once they figured it out, they was like, okay, we can take them down. But you got to go through that hardship before you get into those things. Now, Vic Fangio, what we do know, that he plays two high safeties. He plays quarters defense. They rely on their front four to create pressure to get upfield. Now, to counter that, ladies and gentlemen, on the offensive side, we do have Dak Prescott. I get it. People going to say, man, he's what's on most bottom of people's feet. But he do have a favorable record against the Eagles. And it's not like this particular version of the Eagles is by far the best defense he ever seen, right? And I do like that VA all day, DC for life. Yeah, any given Sunday, in this words, any given Thursday. So what I'm saying is the reason why we got to do these three things is because it benefits the quarterback to his max. We don't have reservations on CeeDee Lamb. We don't have reservations on George Pickens, the ability for what he can do. We haven't seen him in the Cowboys silver and blue, but we don't naturally have those reservations. Our only reservation is O-line running back. The tight end is going to flourish in this type of situation if the middle field is open, if they play the two high safety, the way you attack is in the middle of the field. That's the easiest throw to make in the National Football League, believe it or not. That's the first throw you learn to make, even in professional football, high school, college, middle school, is that throw in the middle of the field. You got to get it out and up over the linebacker once he commit. So you got to figure out those type of things as well. Here's the other part of it, the pocket. When we start talking about the pocket area of the Cowboys, let me break this down to you. All right, and before we go into this, let me, because I'm trying to speed through this show because I got a meeting at the top of the hour and I have to evacuate soon. But I want to be able to showcase this to you all, and I appreciate everybody for rocking with me. The Cowboys overall was 25th in the National Football League, depending on metrics, right? And we're talking about numbers, stats, or what have you. 28th in defense, 28th in offense, 18th in special teams. I come here to tell y'all beautiful people, with 4 under center healthy, we never finished with these odds, right? So when we start thinking about these type of things, Cowboy Nation, appreciate everybody, man. Hit that like button, share this content. Here's what I'm seeing. When we start talking about this type of situation, say whatever you want, believeth in anything that you want to believeth in. But I'm telling you right now, with a healthy quarterback 4, healthy C. Dangerous Lamb, healthy George Pickens, we win in more than 7 games. You can book it, and then when you book it, go to Sleeper and make sure you use promo code LAW. Shout out to Sleeper because they one of the sponsors of this show today. Because what I'm telling you guys, when everyone is on the same page and is on the same drum as it relates to what they're trying to do on offense, we okay. Now, our weakness, and I'm going to pull it up so you guys can see. Let's drag it across the screen here. Our weaknesses, ladies and gentlemen, are the area of the unknown. We know TG, I don't think that he's playing, right? And we talked about this before. I don't think that we got a good deed of, dare I say, confidence in 78. So he's the biggest question mark. But where we going to win, if we want to win, right, is right here in this pocket. It's where you going to have to win at. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. Dak Prescott got to surgically win inside this area right here. The running back got to make sure. Let me get the opposition up here because we still got our own selves up here. Give me 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. Where the opposition's at? It will be the NFC East. It will be the Philadelphia Eagles. All right, so you're seeing strength on strength. Like I said, we are not worried about this king over here. We're not worried about this king over here. These are our face cards. These are all cards that we know for sure they ain't losing. Yeah, these two guys on the edge, they are not losing. These guys got big old doubts and worries. And I'm not finna go back and forth with anybody on Quinyon Mitchell when he had struggles a little bit with Jalen Tolbert. Do y'all see JT somewhere name up here? He was considered our first option and second option last season. He's not even on the starting lineup, ladies and gentlemen. That to tell you how far advanced that we are from 1 year to the next, right? So biggest reservation is on the edge, but our safety comfort level is right here. The only way we beat this team is play keep away. Let's control the clock, time of possession. And if I know for sure this Williams kid, if he can run and give us some yardages down the stretch, we'll be a better situation. The last time we faced off versus them boys, we had a guy by the name of Rico, not to extend anything, but he had gotten 100 yards on them boys. 100 yards. 100 yards on them. So I'm looking at it from this perspective. And that was with, paper mache type of offensive line last season because, we're moving chairs around. I think that by show of hands, ladies and gentlemen, do y'all ultimately believe that this offensive line is better than what it was last season? Yeah, Jadon Blue is healthy element. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, Sanjay says Dak Prescott is elite in reading defenses. Yeah. And I get it. People are going to talk about the INTs and all of that stuff, but let them talk amongst themselves because if they pull up since he's been here since 2016, touchdown to interception ratio, I think he's like top 3 or top 4. Yeah, top 3 or top 4. Yeah, let the AI speak on it.
Sidika
Yeah.
Charles $10. La, I never do predictions, but I somewhat will now. We are going to win week 1 through week 4. Definitely.
Yeah, week 1 through week 4. Oh, okay, all right. So you got us starting off the jump 4-0, right? You got us starting off. I love that, Sadiq. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for your support. She got us going 4-0.
Take the money out, all of it. Come on.
Yeah.
Wasting my time now. Come on.
Yeah. Starboy Entertainment says T-Book will pancake some people. Well, I want syrup. I want butter. Some people put whipped cream. Some people got all type of icings, cherries, strawberries, chocolate, all those things. We want it all over them. It's pancake season time now for your mind. Tyler Smith. And to a degree, when I'm talking about the weaknesses of this particular O-line for your mind, there's some strength in there too, not to beat these guys up. If anything, far as Terrence Steele, if anything, hear me out. Ladies and gentlemen, if it's anything, he's a better run blocker than he is pass, So that should be in our wheelhouse at this particular moment, right? That should be, look. Look what you see right here. Yeah, run blocking, 78. So by playing to his strength, ladies and gentlemen, is what we need to do. Right? Run the ball. Look, pass blocking grade, 57.5. And I don't even do these grades. I don't even go by grades, ladies and gentlemen. I don't. I promise you I don't. I don't go by grades. But from my film analysis and film sessions and film review, which, YouTube kind of got the Illuminati parts of it so we can't show y'all. But with my information, my eyes already told me that Terrence Steele is better on run blocking than he is passing. So if you are good at something, do those good things. Don't do those bad things. And I'm just telling y'all the truth. That's not up for debate, right? So that's why I say that, yeah, we got to do these three things. Can we run the ball? And can we stop the run? And can we control the clock? We control the game. 2 tight end set, play action, Sanjay. Oh, you're talking my language now. You don't want to make this a marathon. It can be a marathon. You don't want to make this a sprint is what I'm getting at. But here's what I'm saying of why I want these things to work. 2 things travel. Law. What are the 2 things that travel? Jawan, Patreon is cool. We got Patreon. You got to understand that my expense level is beyond just YouTube, though. That's the only thing. So Instagram, y'all can go visit film there, and as well as Facebook, y'all can visit film there, right? So trust me, I like YouTube, but the numbers on Facebook and Instagram, they blessing me a little bit more. You don't have to deal with the crazy algorithm. So there will be film sessions not behind the paywall, but you can go to the NFL corners of the Instagram and Facebook, ladies and gentlemen, and we will be doing that. We don't have to force you behind a paywall, and of course, we still have Patreon accounts that have personal and private information there and behind the scenes. So be sure to check out our Patreon, and we have great stuff there. Cowboy Nation, I appreciate y'all so much. Yeah, we do. But neither here nor there. It's just the fact that, and then on top of that, getting the footages is crazy, and that's a whole nother conversation. But we'll talk about that down the stretch. But here's what I want to say, even with these type of things, Cowboy Nation. Looking back at this team, where's our strengths? Where's our weakness? I think that on the offensive line, we can get things moving and grooving. Let me just be curious and see where they got this guy at. They got him felling everywhere, right? 6'7", 327, big boy, right? Tyler Guyton. They got his pass blocking better than his run blocking, but he's not going to be here week 1, I believe. I think that they're going to start Nate Thomas, and Nate Thomas is very, very, very much so serviceable to a degree. All right, so when we look at this thing, I do see that the Cowboys will be able to finesse a few things. But let's flip it over to the other side. I appreciate everybody for rocking with us and tuning in. All right, so they got 2 good bookends on the edge right here. And Marshawn Nealon, Sam Williams, who they have as the starters here, they're going to have their hands full. Now, how we can fabricate pressure, how we can get things going, is that this team don't blitz a lot. Matt Eberflus is not a big blitzer. But Matt Eberflus do preaches and teaches, hey, stop the run, get to the quarterback second. On top of that, he do preach the fact that with these DBs, I want them to be physical. I want them to be sizably aggressive. And I don't think Diggs is playing week 1, right? And we can put an X on that, right? And for the love of God, if they have whoever it is out here, it should be Elam, right? Elam right here, number 20. Put number 20. There's our DB. He's going to be on the edge. Either when they are in this formation, I think that's their 11 personnel. I just want 20 to make sure that he covers Smitty. I need Bland to figure out a way to control A.J. Brown. I've seen Bland get blanded just a little bit from Smitty. Y'all seen that game a couple of years back, or was it last year? I think the year before last or something. Smitty did get Bland a few times. I think Bland, even with bigger physical wide receivers, he does a fair, decent job on that. outside of a few guys like we want to bring up, like the what's the guy named DK Metcalf. He had his way with him. If you're going to play Bland one-on-one with A.J. Brown, just have a safety over the top. If you're going to have Elam with Smitty, you're going to have a designated safety over the top. I'm looking at this game, this matchup will be a situation whereas we're going to have Hooker on his best behavior, right? We got to have that Hooker right in the right spot, all right? And Dono. My biggest reservation with Dono is I'm putting a big old question mark. They gave him the team captain. Dono in the last few seasons, he's been very suspect as relates to being able to cover, and it is a very sticky situation with him. Sanjay says he prefer AJ on Elam. I can give you that. Little long, lengthy, rangy guy, good subtle speed. Yeah. And then you put the quicker guy like Smitty on Bland. I can see either or, right? And it's going to be something that I'm going to be really looking at and keying in when it all happens, right? But when they are in their coverage ability, right, the Cowboys tend to slide this personnel out. Let me go to nickel. They have Elam over Brown, Bland in the slot. And this is killing me right here because this roster lineup right here, I just know he's not going to be in the mix, y'all. I just know he's not going to be in the mix. Let me go to Dallas Cowboys right quick. Hold on. Let's go to DallasCowboys.com. Let's see what they have here. Let's look at the depth chart. Who's our DB? Who they got down here? Because I know Diggs is not playing. I would love to see him out there. So who we going to roll with? Because there's no Zion, right? We're going to go with Try Bridges, Reddy Stewart. I think Reddy can go inside that slot, and then you move Bland back outside. I don't trust Reddy Stewart on the outside and then move Bland inside. I don't know. So that's still a big reservation. We're so used to watching and seeing this team from a different perspective. And this is the updated roster, right? Elijah Clark made this team. He's on the 53. This is going to be something different right here. I'm looking at our cornerback. We got Kyer Elam. We got Bland. All right, we got Bridges, Reddy. CJ, boy, we better not ever see CJ out there, boy. Shoot, he's a disaster waiting to happen in coverage. But he is fast. And the first time we beat, I'll never forget, the first time we beaten Jalen Hurts, they used CJ as the spy, right? But Jalen Hurts improved dramatically. He did improve since that time frame. So now that we're looking at this, damn, who's our other cornerback? Y'all help me out. Who's our other cornerback, man, outside of these two right here? Reddy Stewart and Try Bridges. Yeah, God dog. I guess we're going to have to hurry up and figure that out. Where's y'all comfortable meter at? Because I thought for sure we know who Zion is, right? Reddy Stewart, he did pretty good in preseason. But we don't know him, so that's the area of the unknown. Zion Childress in the chat, that's wild. He says Stewart is going to be the slot, and Elam and Bland is going to be on their outside corners. So you see what we got to go up against, right? So that's why it's necessary. That's why it's necessary to make sure. Is why it's necessary to make sure that we are in the right wheelhouse as it relates to that. Cowboy Nation. And just to be fair, this is how we're going to win the game, though. It starts with this guy right here, Pickens.
The anticipation, I'm just waiting, pretty much, yeah. Waiting to see what the guys do, see what we do as a team.
Do you think with you guys, the starters yourself, CD, Dak, not playing in the preseason, do you think it'll take a moment for you guys to get catch stride, or can you guys get off on the ground running?
I feel like we can get off on the ground running. We had a lot of reps.
The audio low on their end.
Going to Georgia, throwing routes. We throw routes a lot, so I feel like we can come off hot.
You and CD have been very close throughout this offseason, just finally getting able to go out there and play in a game setting with him. How much are you looking forward to that?
A lot. kind of like what he said, the anticipation. Because I've always watched him, I always played against him, so yeah, I'm ready to play with him.
This your first time not having to play in the preseason?
Yeah, I'd probably say yeah. I think last year I played like 1 snap or 2 snaps, and then we was out. But yeah, I'm definitely anticipating. I'm ready.
Do you have added motivation this season? Are you out to prove anything?
Not really to prove anything. Kind of just do what I've always been doing, just in a different system. So I'm ready to kind of just show you guys a different version.
How much does being in a contract year sit in the back of your head?
Not really. I'm more of a team guy. I kind of always say that. I don't really, think about that, but I'm more of a team guy. Like you said, I'm ready to play with CD, ready to play with Dak, kind of see what the guys do as a team.
You've been with Dak now for a few months. What have you learned about him, and how's your relationship grown with him to this point?
It sounds like he whispering to us, man. I wish they had better audio to get that doggone volume up. So y'all going to have to get quiet, move to a corner, because that's the high seat. The volume all the way to the top, man. They're just coming from their website. It's very low from their website. Look, as much as I commend the Cowboys, they have probably by far one of the worst audio projections ever. But $13 billion franchise, but they got like Timu audio. That's just how it goes, unfortunately, y'all.
It's been great. It's been going closer and closer to super laid back guy. As far as football, he's more of a check everything on the ready. A lot of cues, especially if you get a first round cue who comes in with you, you don't know. So Dak is very experienced. Yeah.
So much was said about you and your maturity or whatever you want to call it in Pittsburgh. Have you been purposeful coming here and say, hey, this is who I am. I'm not that guy, because Dak said, I don't know. Well, we got in what everybody's been saying in Pittsburgh. Have you been purposeful about showing a good first impression?
Yeah, kind of, for sure. You always want to show a good first impression anywhere you go. Mm-hmm. But I'm kind of the same way that I was at Pittsburgh. I just feel like, when you drive, the media drives a certain narrative. They can definitely run with it.
George, on the subject of the Eagles, what do you make of their secondary, and what do you think are going to be the keys?
All right, so now we can get to the meeting in the nitty gritty, baby. All right, so he finna talk about the secondary. He look at the guy's eyes up. I know he been watching tape. Yes, indeed, boy. Yeah, yes, indeed. God is good. God is great. But this food finna be great tonight. You know what I'm saying? It's finna be something that we've been starving for this for a long time. It's like he's about to say his prayer before he eat. Dear oh, Heavenly Wonder Father, thank you for this good food we about to receive in your name. In grace and mercy, Jesus Christ, we pray. Amen. This boy about to start praying because he's about to eat. He's about to eat, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah.
I'd probably say, they're a very well-knit group. They don't run a lot of stuff, so that means they know everything. I'll probably just say, find the spots and windows. They rarely play man, so find the spots and windows.
CD says he's going to watch the celebration for the Eagles, and it'd be motivating for him. What do you kind of plan to do for that? I mean, would you have a similar mindset potentially?
I probably would, but I'm just really ready to, play with the guys here. That's why I was like, new team, I kind of just want to see what they're going to do, plus myself.
Does that trade seem forever ago to you now?
Oh, yeah. Especially how close I got with these guys. Kind of forgot. Yeah.
Do you feel like you're finally, or the NFL's finally going to see your full potential?
I'll probably say definitely in a different scheme. And that's probably what they always wanted to see. Other people are fans of different teams. So definitely a different scheme. People want to see me in a different scheme.
No doubt. Schemes is something that there's going to be. Call me crazy, but there's going to be different avenues, different ways that we can look at this, especially as it relates to the Cowboys being able to give you multiple looks before the snap, right? There's not going to be vanilla here. There's not going to be a situation where they serve you, we don't do motion pre-snap. Because, and no offense to Mike McCarthy, but there is. Sometimes you get stagnant and stuck in your own ways. Sometimes you fall into the traps of saying to yourself, this right here will work because it worked in 2000, because it worked in 2010, or if it worked in 2015. But if you're not adapting and if you're not doing what others are doing, far as getting the ball out, far as giving them different looks, far as giving them jet motions, far as giving them screens and stuff like that, it is a situation and scenario that teams would key into that. But now the area of the unknown is such a massive one that you can't even pick up on the tendencies. I think that there's a finite reason not to just kick Mike McCarthy around and beat him up. But he took the Green Bay Packers to the postseason. And the 4 times they lost were the 4 times they lost to a vision-based defense. And this is before, ladies and gentlemen, he got here in Cowboys land, right? And let me know what his record is against the 49ers here in Cowboys land, right? So it's crazy that you may think a certain way. But if you're given a vision-based defense, meaning that everybody's dropping back, right, sitting on routes, and they're only rushing 4, and you don't have a clear, concise way of beating that, that's stubbornness involved, right? Because the only way that you can beat those particular coverages is giving balanced approach. Now, granted, vision-based defenses are like your 49ers, are like what we've seen out of Green Bay in 2023. And, of course, with Vic Fangio, right? And we've seen what he did to us in 2021. I still want my lick back from 2021, Vic. Yeah. We want our lick back. Yeah. Who remember when he was DC for the Denver Broncos? We want our lick back, baby. Pickens would be the X factor in this game. This is Minnesota. I'm thinking that this would be, I'm pushing all of my chips in the middle of the field for Ferguson. I think this would be a game where our tight end, the ancillary piece, is going to win in this particular scheme. CD is going to get his numbers. Pickens is going to get his fair share. But where we gash these boys is from your Javonte Williams, your Cavonte Turpins, and your Jake Fergusons. Those ancillary pieces is where we win in this particular game. You can only roll coverage so much. You can only cover 2 so many times. But it's going to be a situation and scenario that we got to control the clock, run the ball, use our ancillary pieces. When they hit, they got to hit where it hurts, right? If we can't run, we can't win. This is from Cuddy. If we can't run this ball, it's a shootout, baby. You got to, for the life of me, if the Eagles are able to shut down Pickens, shut down Lamb, and shut down Jake Ferguson, create so much pressure that the quarterback can't even move, that I'm at this point, I would say something else that start with a re. You know what I'm saying? And you can put Pete somewhere all the way over it. Because this particular team, you don't have as many weapons that you would see in the National Football League like Dak Prescott got today. Now, granted, I get it. We don't have a household name as it relates to running backs. But if they just shut it down, I'm talking about shut it down 40-0, man, you might as well go and push all your chips to elsewhere for the 2020. I don't give a dog if it's the first game of the season. I don't give a dog if it is a rookie coach. Talking about shutting down.
Is it interesting? I don't know if it's cool or whatever else or just happenstance, but it's cool to see that the controversy with somebody else is not, people not focusing on me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that's like another thing too as well. Like when you only have one thing to look at, you can kind of, critique it a lot.
Right.
You know what I mean? But as far as here, we got a lot of weapons.
Weapons.
Yeah.
How excited are you to show your versatility? Obviously, everyone knows you as a downfield highlight threat, but route running, moving to different receiver positions, how excited are you to show that?
Super excited. That's kind of what I was talking about with the scheme. Different routes, different route concepts to get me open, to get CD open, to get a lot of guys open. Like I said, we got a lot of weapons, so I'll naturally just come open by other guys just running their route. So definitely ready.
Was there relief when you got traded, like that you could be kind of freed up to?
Me being a receiver schematically, yeah. Schematically, most definitely.
Did you feel like a Ferrari that was kept in the garage or something?
I wouldn't say like a Ferrari, but just a different totem pole on the team. Steelers, heavy on their defense. Coach T is a defensive guy. He's always been that way. And then here, Shotty's complete opposite.
George, you and CD have a celebration plan now, or are y'all still working on that?
Still working on that with the, they create a new fine every day.
That was amazing, boy. Shoot, you gonna ask, hey man, y'all got a celebratory fine? No, you run out of questions, right?
So yeah, we still working on it. We got a lot of them for sure.
You ain't got your money yet. You ain't trying to get fined.
Oh no.
Were the Steelers and Eagles a thing? Like, was that a rivalry? And what do you know about this rivalry?
Yeah, it was kind of a rivalry as far as PA, Pennsylvania. But as far as, like they won the Super Bowl. Like when you're winning a lot, and it's not really the rivalry kind of dies down. And we rarely played them too. The division's different.
We've talked about how CD can open you up and you can open CD up.
Pause.
I mean, obviously, you guys haven't played in a game together yet. Have you felt that in practice, or are you just kind of actually excited to see how that changes the defensive game plan? You two on the same side. Are you excited to see that?
Yeah, super excited, and it affects it a lot. I can tell definitely when I'm running routes prior to where I was running routes, and then you can see they just double the stars, just doubling me. Then we got run game, but here you got CD, me, Turb, JT. So
keep talking, boy. That's what I waited for. I waited all the way to this part. Look, listen, Linda. You might have to put the phone to your ear if you're listening from your phone because the audio is very low. But listen, this is good ingredients, man, good nutrients for you. Listen.
then you can see they just double the stars, just doubling me. Then we got run game, but here you got CD, me, Turb, JT. So you have to focus on a lot of guys. Yeah.
Thanks, GP.
Yes, indeed. Thanks, GP. Are you with me? Come on with it, ladies and gentlemen. And those are things that we can take all the way to the bank. There are some other good news that we are hearing so far, ladies and gentlemen. This is some news that's my guy. We will have a show later on tonight. The Cowboys collectively speaking. He got some reports out here, ladies and gentlemen, about this this deal here. Appreciate everybody for rocking with me, man. Appreciate y'all. Let me put this. No doubt. It states here that the Cowboys cornerback Trayvon Diggs' knee and left tackle Tyler Guyton knee were both full participants in practice yesterday. Cowboys coach Brian Schottenheimer said both are treading in the right way for Thursday night season opener. Now, that doesn't change the fact where we feel about TG. Now, hopefully that Tyler Guyton will be a whole lot better than what we seen last season. But, man, if anybody got baptized in the mighty name of the defensive edge room, would be Tyler Guyton. He's not going up against Myles Garrett week one, right? He's going up against what's the guy's name over there? Let me see, Philly. Let me go to their lineup. No, I got them lined up over here. Where they at? He going up against, give me 1 second. All right, and we go to he going up against Jalix Hunt and Smith if they rotate him on the other side. So this I'm not saying that this is a slate. I guess we call it a cakewalk or what have you. But this is a game that we have to say to ourselves, let's make sure that we start off on a good foot. Now Tyler Guyton, he's better in pass protection than what he is in run. So we'll see how they utilize him. Now, here's what I can say before I go into these details, though, about TG. He is athletic. I don't know how athletic he will be in this system under this particular administration, but I do know that he's athletic. One of the things that he can be very serviceable at is when he's pulling, right? And we will see a lot of GT counters. We'll see a lot of big, large zone reads or what have you with the run game. So if they're going to keep that umbrella defense, then we have to tack underneath. Don't be afraid to dink and dunk And then when they get out of their formation, then you take it over the top with a Cavante Turpin. Appreciate everybody. It's 11:30. What I want to do here is get things going in the best way possible. But before we go there, I got to play this right quick for you guys. Let's listen in to these guys right here, and we'll be right back with the phone lines open for maybe 1 or 2 calls before we depart. But I want to hear you guys listen to this. Let's talk about control. And first and foremost, I'm talking about control body odor, and that's anywhere. And all you have to do is shop.mando and get $5 off of your starter pack, and that's over 40% with promo code LAW. Shopmando.com. Let's go. I use this body wash odor control, full body control with Mando. They have the product here, and they also have deodorant that you apply under the arm for 72 hours of odor control. You want to be in control. And speaking of control, they also have the product that you can apply all over the body, the invisible cream, and it also fights for 72 hours. Look, it's all about being in control. And with Mando, man, they control body odor anywhere. All you have to do is shop.mando, get $5 off your starter pack. That's over 40% with promo code LAW. Shopmando.com. Let's go, and let's stay in control of your odor. I love it. Let's go. And then on top of that, man, make sure that y'all check out Mando. Spread all over your body. I'm going to tell y'all right now, don't put it on some dirty skin. Put it on some clean skin. So after you get out of the shower or tub, be sure to apply that Mando, and it lasts up to 72 hours, by the way. Not once the 72 hours is away, don't be pushing your measures there. Be sure to do the thing all over again. But if you run out of that time space, be sure to download the information that's in the description box. Click on Mando and use promo code LAW. And speaking of promo code LAW, it also works for a sleeper. You can get the fastest secure payout, win, and chat with the squad. And on top of that, when you go through all of this, 100% of your deposit will be matched up to $100. Man, that's dope, man. So be sure to check out our partner Sleeper and use promo code LAW there. Now, if somebody is driving around and they fool around and fall asleep and they hit you, you already know who you need to call. You already know who you need to reach out to. And this is our partners here over here.
It starts from the first phone call. Most of the time, you're going to talk to Gene Burkett, a 30-year partner. You're not going to talk to some employee that just got put on the phones that day.
There are things that are so crucial, especially if it's a cataclysmic event, to have our experts get out and look at the vehicle, witness statements, photos, the whole thing.
Call Frenkel first. Chosen by the people, feared by the insurance company. Call Frenkel first.
That's 214-817 or 817, and all of the threes you can dial. And with that being said, you'll reach out to our partners, Frenkel and Frenkel, personal injury lawyers. They are backed by over 100 years of combined experiences, and they know the terrain of the Texas area, especially Dallas, by the way. But be sure to reach out to them. And if you can't dial that number, visit frankelfirm.com, and let's get things going the best way possible, ladies and gentlemen. Now, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's get the first person on the call from the 901. You're live on the nation, baby. Talk to me.
Let's go!
Yes,
Shout
go.
out Law Nation! Shout out Memphis! Shout out 901 Day! We held it down yesterday, no killing. Y'all be aware, we don't kill all the time in Memphis. We have a good time. Shout out Glorilla, shout out 3-6, shout out Computer, shout out Toxie Town, shout out 100 Grand. Let's go! Memphis in the house.
Eric,
That's all I got.
young
I'm
boy.
out.
Stuart, $19.99. Law, you said this is Cowboys and Eagles week, and no one is allowed to unnecessarily block your cousin for no reason, right? So don't block me pouting.
Shoot. Boy, yeah, so what you had to say then, shoot, Eric, you know, you over here on our side, you on our end, and that's just for what it is. So, y'all, he got a little protection this week. Let Eric be old head young bull Stewart this week. But after we karate-size that, you know what, beaks over there, that's a bad way to say it. Next week, don't be going over here trying to lick your wounds and stuff. Just take that L like everybody else over there on Eagle side. But I got Sway from the 956. You in the mix. Talk to your boy. Talk to me, man.
Man, how you doing, Law?
Man, I'm well. I can't complain.
So, man, I still got a little residue, micro residue that I wouldn't mind getting off my chest. I was trying to call last week, but couldn't get through. Man, so let me ask you this: who was the player that skipped his last year college eligibility because trying to avoid injury? Remember that one?
Oh yeah,
who was that?
Yeah, that was MP. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was him.
Yeah.
I mean, he got that history of being. I guess a little self-absorbed, selfish, and we saw that. Yeah, I mean, he got 12 sacks a year, but if you think about it, like when was the last time the dude was the best player on the field when it really mattered, like a playoff implication game in the playoffs? I mean, the dude pretty much, he wasn't even our best defensive player in those important games. So my take is, man, like, yeah, he got talent, but a lot of those empty calorie talent, man, like sacks, he really never stepped up when it really mattered. His selfishness, just like I just mentioned about him skipping out his college year of eligibility, like that came through with that mediocre podcast, brushing people the wrong way or rubbing people the wrong way. When just thinking back now, like he left and you hear all these things trickling down as far as him being self-absorbed, self-centered. You didn't hear any of that when Tank and the Cowboys parted ways, right? Or am I wrong? I can't remember anyone really. Well, I think Tank took some shots, right?
Well, yeah. So let me ask you this though, Sway. What do we benefit now from talking about this part of it though? Just being real.
Man, I was venting, man.
You just vented.
I couldn't get through. but
you just said, man, I just want to vent, man. I just want to rant and vent. But I get what you're saying collectively, right? Like, I think the world of Michael Parsons. I think that the Cowboys still did him a disservice and a disjustice by not allowing having a real defensive tackle in the building. Look, we all know that Mozzie was a situation far as a reach because it takes 3 years, 4 years for interior defensive tackles to make way. And we know for sure that Michael was drafted not to be an edge rusher, but to be a linebacker. But by us not having the ability to create pressure, and we was avoidance of that as soon as we finally got somebody to do those type of things, we're like, yeah, let's keep him at edge. But in actuality, he would have been a better linebacker. I think that he would have been up there with Fred Warner and all of those boys, or Roquan Smith, if he were to continue to excel at linebacker. But from what I was told, that even when he wanted to get back to linebacker, he was told to get back to the edge, and he was only to do what he's told. And that's from a Parsons membership that told me that, believe it or not, this morning. So I get it. He's gone. He's water under the bridge. He's the ops now. He having back problems, back issues, and that ain't. I don't know if that's gonna go away anytime soon. So we washed our hands with it, huh?
It won't get better like throughout the season. It's not like from this point on he's not gonna get mixed up anymore. It's only gonna get worse. Plus, you got those hamstrings coming up. He hadn't practiced pretty much all summer, so he's gonna have. I hope wish him the best, but he's probably gonna have a rough year, bro.
Yeah, well, it'll be to our benefit because we need the Packers to lose every single game, and it'll help us out. And I hate to say that about the kid, but it's just for what it is. I hope the Packers lose. I'm doing it to my Charleston White. I hope the Packers lose every game, dog.
Yeah, that's all I got for you, man. Hey, you have a good one, man.
You
Thanks
too,
for taking
man.
my rant.
Appreciate you, Sway, for calling in for the 956. And I get what he's saying. I get the frustrations, man. Contacts do matter. We're going to have to visit the same agent, the same set of circumstances. He is on ESPN, the 3-letter, the 4-letter networks now, and I'm talking about David Mulugeta is talking about the nature of this contract, right? And this is another thing that I got to say, that a lot of people, and I mean just that a lot of people, a lot of people try to control the conversation. Like we can't bring up Michael Parsons at all. He's going to be talked about for the next 30 seasons probably, because if this thing works out, far as the 2 draft picks that we got from his particular trade situation, don't you know that they're going to forever link those picks up and say, the Cowboys got here due to this particular pick. The Cowboys got here due to the, and if Parsons go to this particular higher heights and get 13, 14 sacks, and all of a sudden in the postseason they get multiple turnovers and takeaways and win postseason games, they're going to talk about how the Cowboys lost out on that. So for those who don't want to hear Michael Parsons, you can find a time machine and go into the future, maybe 20, 30 years from now, but it's going to forever be talked about because of the nature that we are the Dallas Cowboys. You can't get away from it. You can say run from it. The boy said dread it, run from it.
Dread it, run from it. Destiny arrives all the same.
But now.
And now it's here.
Or shall I say?
Or should I say?
I am.
I am.
So what do you think David Mulugeta gonna say when it's time for George Pickens to get his new inked deal? What do you think David Mulugeta's gonna say when it's time for Sam Williams to get his new inked deal? You know, he's gonna bring up this particular situation, and it's gonna be historical data that you guys can go back on, right? And that's just for what it is, Cowboy Nation. I get it. We don't want to talk about it, but it's here. We can't run away from it. Those were our only 2 callers that called in. I appreciate each and every last one of you guys. I thank y'all. I respect y'all time. I hope that you guys got all of the value information that we got. The 3 things, just to rehash what we talked about, the 3 things that we're going to have to go through. Can we run the ball? Can we stop the run? And can we control the clock? Minimize the turnovers, right? You want to take the ball away from them, but you don't want to turn that ball over. Look, what I'm looking for in this game, and of course we want to win, but it's the little things that I'm ultimately looking for, ladies and gentlemen. And those little things would be, can we play sound football, disciplined football? Can we get into these situations, ladies and gentlemen, that the Cowboys play the field? You already got. Let the AI speak before I get to this point. Yeah.
Sidika Charles $5. He only saved for 1 more day. Then back to regular channel rules. That butt paid. Chat room we are one. Grin open mouth smile.
Yeah, shout out to you, Sadiq. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, what I'm looking for in this game is not just those 3 things. I'm looking for concise, sound football. Play the field. We got a kicker with a golden foot that all we got to do is get to the 50. Just get to the 50. You mean to tell me if the Cowboys can't get to the 50 with Pickens, with Lamb, with Cavante Turpin? I know we up against the odds. Get a $100 deposit, match up to $100. Use code LAW. I know we against the odds. But it's time for us to put the sleeper on the Eagles. Play the field. Don't rush it. Understand that this game can be a marathon, not a sprint. 2 things travel. Defense travel, run game travel. Well, we got to travel up to Philly, and we're going to make sure that we getting things going. So those are the things that we have to understand. We got to get those areas all checked and lined up, Cowboy Nation. That's the destiny. So let's get ready. What you smell? Rotisserie. What you smell, Law? They boiling the damn Eagles over there. What you smell? Barbecue. You mean to tell me we barbecue it? Eagles? Yes. So let's lock in. Let's understand the cost that's involved with this. That this is the divisional game. Not going to put must win, but it's a necessary game that we got to perform up to the key areas. Run the ball, stop the run, control the clock, and on top of that, don't you piss down your own pants. Brandy says Eagles do. But in the party, when you up against your struggles, meet it squarely face to face. Lift your chin, set your shoulders, plant your feet, and take a brace. When it's vain to try to dodge it, do the best that you can do. Black may be the clouds about you and your future may seem grim, but don't let your nerve desert you. Keep yourself in fighting trim. If worse is bound to happen in spite of all that you do, running from it will not save you. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. Keep your head high all the way through the finish. See this through. Eagles oxtail. Put some beaks on it too. Get them Eagles feet up in there. We're eating the whole bird, leaving none left behind but a few feathers. That's what we gonna do, baby. Stand tall or not at all. I gotta run, but I appreciate y'all. Love y'all to the stars and back. Keep this in mind. No one flies above the star, and the Eagles for definitely fly beneath the stars. Cowboy Nation, that's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Let's get it. Come on. Let's get it. Mash those Eagles, baby. Shout out to Sleeper. Come on. And I would tell you this. Roll those credits. Come on, baby. But first I stretch. Come on. Bad intentions. 77-13 last year's combined. Now put that up there with Dak. Come on. The first one in, the last one out, can't call me lazy. Yeah. Put in my hours, send the invoice and they pay me. I need 6 rings like MJ. Come on, let's get it, Dramatic. Come on. I wake up, flex, also, put this in the chat. We on a quest for 6. We on a quest for 6. What the Eagles on a quest for? Let me know in the chat, baby. Let's get it. Y'all gon' make me take that trip way out to Philly. I call up Nigeria, come through in a hurry. Those London boys don't come to play, you should get worried. One false move, find yourself, they getting buried. Yo, that's what I like, Sean D. You know what the craziest thing is? They talk about us talking about using the past and using that over there. But the first thing they said in the chat was, look what the Eagles did to us last season. I thought that was in the past. But if y'all want to correct and y'all want to use the total body of history, can anybody put down the all-time record, Cowboys versus the Eagles, in the chat? Can somebody put that down in there? Can somebody put that in there? Come on. Put the all-time record. If y'all want to use the past, then put the all-time record from the Cowboys versus the Eagles in the chat. Put that down in there. Yeah. Because how you going to say something in the past to benefit you, but when we said, y'all say, nah, you can't do it. All right, put the all-time record down in the chat then. Let me know who's on top. Yeah. Don't have selective history. because y'all still looking up. Y'all gargle naturally with nuts in your mouth because you still got to look up to the Giants. You still got to look up to the Washington. And you're still looking up to the mighty Dallas Cowboys, baby. Those are facts. Those are facts. Yeah.
Take a bite of my burger, babe. Save the last bite for you. For you.
74-58. They got stomach muscles on their necks, baby. Shit. I be your player too. What the Eagles do? They swallow. Wherever you go. Wherever they go. Whatever you do. Yeah. Until next time, if we offended anyone, if they are Eagles, they just offended. But if we offended anyone else, charge it to our beard, not our heart. And another one.
And another one. I think you was the one I lost. 7 wonders all in one.
74-58.
All in one. Don't let the street lights hit you all alone. You know it's dangerous to go alone. Don't let the street lights hit you. Can I be?
Boy, I wish I had more time. I follow wherever you go.